Hello, tonight we are talking about volume and we're going to touch on rank versus income and then also how to determine who your top producing team members are, coaches in your downline, and who you should focus your time on. So I'm going to hand it over to Kaileigh to first touch on rank versus income in your business. Kaileigh?
Hey guys, so this is not going to be that long, but I know we have already touched base on it in the previous weeks, but we wanted to go over it again just as, a little refresher. It's something that you really need to know. You need to know your weak and your strong leg. Always be watching them, because if you are building both, they could flip-flop on you. I know in the beginning of mine, I didn't have a weak versus a strong. They switched on and off. So just make sure that you're constantly watching that. And as far as rank versus income, it's difficult to build both at the same time. I'm not saying that it can't be done, but you have to know if you are more rank driven or more volume driven. And if you're in this group, you're pretty much here for volume. But once you hit a rank, the volume, like if you have a goal of 2-star, you do that, then the volume will tend to follow once you start adding to your weaker leg. And vice versa, if you are building your weak leg, rank will eventually come. It just takes a little bit longer than if you were doing it the opposite way. So just know that there's no wrong way of building your business, building up or building out. Building up, I mean by, hitting the ranks quicker. Building out is taking the ranks slower, but building more income. At least that's how I view it. So that's pretty much the difference between rank versus income. They're very self-explanatory, but just make sure that you're watching your weak and strong leg if you have them. And know that if they do switch, that's where you then have to switch, the side that you're adding new coaches to.
Okay, and I want to add, if you are watching this video, you're likely a diamond coach or very soon going to be diamond coach. One thing that I didn't know as a new leader on, in the business is the business centers. And I want to make sure that you guys are aware, really your focus should not be at diamond. And I kind of joked on my team call last night, I don't know, the calling it diamond, I think just freaks people out because it seems like it's such a glorified rank. You get there and then, whew, I did it, but really your goal should be 2-star, I feel, because once you hit 2-star, you're eligible for the 2-star bonus. You are starting to obviously add business builders to your team. You can't have a stable, growing business just on discount coaches. That's how most of us start, as diamond coach. We're just adding, 12 discount coaches to our downline to achieve that rung in the ladder. But where you're going to really start to see that volume build is when you start adding working coaches. So really your focus should be 2-star. That way you have, like I said, you're going to be working with people also working the business at that point. 2-star bonus. And then at that point, you can also open up your second business center. And that's, you can do that every time. And when you achieve a 2-star in any business center, then you open up another one and another one and another one. And that's what Kaileigh was talking about, where you really can start to see a lot of volume because it's almost like you're getting paid multiple times on the same volume. So it rolls up through all of those different business centers. So usually for most coaches, when they start to see a really significant shift in their income is when they open up that second business center. And then you start rolling like all of your new customers through that second one, because all of your successful points and everything else roll up to your first business center. So for me, all of my customers, if they're a customer, I sign them up under my second business center. So I just wanted to make sure that you were aware of that. Right. Anything else to add with that, Kaileigh?
Nope.
All right. So what we're going to talk about next is just how to determine who your runners are in your business all the way down your entire downline by running a simple report. And I'm going to do a screen share and show you how I do my weekly shout out recognition posts. And it's going to save you a ton of time if you're going through your sponsorship drill down and doing this, like opening up all of the individual coach accounts. That's what I was doing up until a few weeks ago. And I cannot believe I didn't find this out sooner. So hopefully this will help you and save you a ton of time in your recognition shout outs. All right, so can you guys see this? All right, so you're gonna go to my business, my downline sponsorship drill down, okay? And this is the only report I really ever look at, and those are your personally sponsored coaches, right? And then what you're gonna do once this loads is you're going to filter your report. So click here. All right, so from here, you're gonna choose all levels down. So you see your entire downline. And then you're going to select your report columns, because I don't really need to know their coach ID, their sign-on date, all that other information. I just really want to know their volume and possibly their Success Club points and their rung on their leadership ladder. So those are the columns that I'm going to select once this loads up here. All right, so I'm going to uncheck anything that I don't want to viewed, okay? So for this example too, I'm gonna also take out their names just so that I can maintain privacy with my team. But you'll wanna leave in their first and last name, and then I don't really need to know their phone number, email, all this stuff I'm not interested in looking at right now. But what I do want to look at is their prior ladder rung, so that's the leadership ladder rung. And then I want to know their current month's Success Club points. I do Success Club shout-outs at least once a week, sometimes twice a week on Mondays and Thursdays, just to let our team know where everyone's at. We typically would have a team goal of what we're working towards for the month. And then the PV, I'm going to look at previous weeks. So this would be like on Thursday recognition. You're going to leave that one checked so that you can give them shout-outs for, like, we do the top 10, PV earners for the week. And then I'm going to take these out. All right, so again, you would leave their names in there, their ladder rung, Success Club points, PV, previous week is what we're going to look at. And then you're going to save formatting. And then you're going to show report. All right, so here, this is what you're going to see. And then I'm going to export this into an Excel. All right, can you see my Excel sheet?
No.
All right, I'm going to have to reshare here. Okay, do you got it now?
Yep.
All right, so I'm just going to open this up a little bit so I can see all of my columns here. All right, so their name would be first in this column A if I would have left that in there. All right, so this first one is their rung on the ladder. So I'm going to click on this, and then I'm going to sort by descending. So now I see I have 3 team builders. Some of them are still determining. Then you just scroll down. So this is every single coach in your entire downline. Oops. And then on the bottom are all my business starters. Okay, I have 1 team leader, 2 builders, and then a whole bunch of business starters. So what I would do on my shout outs is I would click on text over here on the right, and then I can highlight this box. There would be their name and their rung. And then over here you can right click copy. And then in your PicMonkey or whatever you're using to give your shout out, then just paste their names in there so you don't have to retype everything out, which is awesome. All right, so now let's say we want to do this one is their Success Club points, okay, column B. So I would hide this column. So I'm just gonna hide that column that gives their ladder rung. And then I'm going to highlight their name. Let's see, I have to go back over. All right, so I'm going to highlight their name. Oops, I got to sort by descending again. And then highlight these are all my Success Club earners. Right click, copy. Go back into PicMonkey, paste, done. All right. And then I'm going to go back to this is the point volume. I'm going to click on here, sort by descending. And these are all my coaches that have point volume. So same thing, if I'm doing top 10 or whatever it is, you're going to highlight over here, right click, copy, and then go back into PicMonkey, paste their names, and their point volume will be there for you. All right, does that make sense?
Sweet.
All right, so I think, okay, so how you use that to determine who your top runners are. Well, obviously the people who have Success Club points on the board and who have volume, that's their customer volume, are going to be the producers on your team. Those are the people that you want to make sure that you're watching, you're spending time, you're making sure that they are being supported in their business. I have some coaches who don't really have an active upline. So in that case, I want to make sure that I'm kind of taking the role as their upline, their mentor into the business, because, I want to make sure that I see that they're working hard, and I want to make sure that they're being supported. So that's where you can look to see, okay, are these people, are they getting support? Are they, do they have goals that they're meeting? Things like that. So Kaileigh, did you want to add to that?
Yeah, so we wanted to touch base on how you determine who deserves your time. We're all busy. We all have things going on other than our businesses, but we do have to give certain amounts of time to certain deserving coaches. So how to break it down would be, the coaches that deserve 80% of your time would be those who have points on the board, who are, meeting you at your own percentage rate. So if you're giving them 50%, they're giving you 50%. They're meeting the requirements of a full-time, working coach, where they're doing the 3 vitals, and this, 100%, they are your business builders. Those people deserve 80% of your time. 15% of your time will go towards those same type of people, but in your entire downline. You don't have all the time in the world to give to everyone in your downline, although we all wish we could. We're all like mama bears or papa bears, wanting to help every coach, but we have about 15% of our time that we can devote to those business building people, coaches in our downlines, which that report that Marsha just showed will tell you who deserves that time right then and there. So you really don't have to fish for it. Also, people who are involved in your team page or on calls, really stepping up, showing leadership style type of work as well, also deserve 80% of your time, or 15 if they're in your downline. 5% of your time is going to go towards your active discount coaches, pretty much your active discount coaches. Or, you might have some newer coaches that come in, their trainings and stuff like that, just getting under your feet. And that's kind of, where that goes. There's that leaves you at 100%. The no time people will be your inactive coaches, not hitting Success Club, not doing the 3 vitals, really not stepping up to that plate that these other coaches have been. Once they do, if they, decide that they want to start working the business, or something happens and they just spark, or a discount coach goes from discount to working, obviously you switch the gears of your percentage time towards that person. So that's pretty much how, I don't know about you, Marsha, but that's pretty much how I do it. I know a lot of coaches do it that way. So just use your time wisely. Don't be putting 80% of your time into, a coach that's not putting 80% of their work in. You want to be matching.
Some other coaches do like ABC coaches. And this is one thing too, that my mentor from corporate helped me kind of determine who's my A coaches, who are my B, and who are my C. A coaches are your runners. They're the ones that are, they're active, like Kaileigh was saying, active on your team calls, engaged in your team page, hitting Success Club. They have goals. They're business builders. They want, their goal is to maybe work Beachbody full time. Those are your A coaches. You want to make sure that you're talking with them regularly. Your B coaches are maybe people who just need more, maybe your new coaches who need more guidance, getting started, things like that. C coaches get none of your time. People who aren't hitting successful, they're not doing the vitals, who aren't. Okay, I think that's all I have.
Yep, we're good.
Okay, have a good night. Bye.